Confirm that you can hear me.
Yes, Mr. Dennis, I'm able to hear you. Proceed.
Thank you. Ruth, you can hear me, I hope. So in our last class, we were looking at the tools. Those are tools of environmental analysis. Under tools of environmental analysis, we have looked at a few items. So under this, we have looked at number one, SWOT analysis. Number two, we have looked at PESTEL. Is there any other that we have looked at apart from those ones? SWOT, PESTEL. The 5 forces competitive analysis, Porter's 5 forces model. And under this model, we say that we are looking at the 5 forces. The first force is competitive rivalry. Competitive where we are saying that one of the things that you need to consider as a business person are the forces that come from the competition. So you need to examine the intensity of the competitors or the competitions in the market. So you need to consider the number of existing competitors in the market and what each of them do and what they can do to you. And then you think about how you can be able to maneuver or beat them in the market. Number two, we have bargaining power of suppliers. So as a business person, we are assuming that these people are supplying to you something. So we are saying, if you are the business person and somebody is supplying you, if the suppliers are so many, then you have an option of choosing from one or the other. We are assuming that you are the business or you are the customer, so they are the suppliers. If the suppliers are so many in numbers and you are few in numbers, then you have the powers to bargain because you can switch from one supplier to another. If the suppliers are few, in the market, it means that it is them who have the say. They are the ones who will tell you what to do. And I gave example that sometimes the supplier can tell you that this one we only do once a week. For example, those who are doing dialysis in hospitals, you'll find doctors who are able to do such kind of operations or dialysis. They are probably 2 in the country or just 3 in the country. You can imagine. So they have to move from one hospital to the other, and only the big hospitals. So they will tell you that I can only be available twice a month after 2 weeks. That is why they normally give people the dates. So now pay appointment Rudy after a certain date because the supply is low. So these people are in high demand. So the process analyzes how much power a business supplier has and how much control it has over the potential to raise, right? To raise the prices. So they have the powers and they have the ability to raise prices, determine the time and the place of supply. We also have the bargaining power of customers. And we are again saying that if you are the business person and you have so many customers, then you can always send even one away. Mtu akikusumbua nawambia you can go. I don't care. But if it is only customer, you can imagine you start a business and you don't have so many customers. The one that you have, you always want to treat them well because they have the powers. They can run away from you and you'll be the one who will face problems. So the more the customers, the more bargaining power they will have. The fewer they are, no, the fewer they are, the more the bargaining power, right? If there are so many, then they don't have bargaining power because you have options. Somebody will still buy. And of course, that only happens if you, the business person, you are few in numbers. We also have threat of new entrants. Threats of new entrants. So if you are in a business where anybody can join anytime without much control, you are in trouble. As a business person, you need to understand the nature of your business and the restrictions that are there. So the easier it is for them to join or to come into business, the risk it is for you. If it is difficult for them to join you or start the business, then of course you are better off because it is not easy for them to come in. So the few might come, a few might come, but the rest will be kept out. So if it is easier for business to get entry, that is the greater the risk on your establishment. And therefore, they will share the market, you will have to share the customers, you will have a lot of problems, right? Even the suppliers will have options. They will have so many people who are demanding for the same. Then the last one is the threat of substitute. So we are saying that if you are doing business where somebody can actually, the product that you're selling can easily be substituted from one to another. You know, you are selling coffee and another one comes with a tea. So that is a challenge. If the product that you're selling has got a substitute that can easily replace it, you are in a problem. So we are saying that if there is absence of substitute, then you become powerful. So for this course, it studies how easy is it for consumers of your product to switch from one business or from your product to another, right? So it examines the number of competitors that you have and how fair their prices are. They look at the quality of their prices. They look at the supply. We shall be able to see in marketing that some people always buy a product because of the supply. Unajua hiyo ni ukweli. Sometimes people go for a product because the product is readily available. Some people go for product because it has been used several times. So customers are of different types. Kuna wale, they want a new thing. Any new thing ikikuja kwa market, wanatangulia. Hao ndio wanataka kubuy. Then we have other people who only want to buy something that people have done or have used several times. Kama mimi, I always want to do things that people have tried. It has been tested and it has been confirmed that it's working. Right? Kama ni gari ikitokea mpya, sitaki kubai hiyo gari. Naweza buy nipate engine iko na shida, hii gari iko na problems mingi. I want to confirm. First, nione kama watu wanabai wengi na wametumia for sometimes, then I come in. And then we have, that is where the majority are. And then we have laggards. These are the people who always come late. Watu wakitoka ndio sasa yeye anaanza. I don't know whether you have a friend who is not using mobile phones. Hadi sahi bado hajaamini kama mobile phone is something that can be used. You know, when phone came, when phones came, at first people were telling us that it's not the best thing to use. Italeta shida, nini, story mingi tu. And it is expensive because you buy it, you need electricity, and by then not many homes had electricity. So you're being told that this phone is unnecessary. Ukibuy simu, number one, it is 10,000. We cannot afford at home, or more than. Number two, after buying, you have to charge it. Then you have to top up credit every time. And those days, the credit was very expensive. I think the minimum was almost 200 shillings, right? And the rate per minute was 22 bob. That was the easiest. 22 bob. Who remembers those rates? Ruth, do you remember the rates that we used to have? We used to have something called tariff. We used to have Sasa tariff. Sasa was the cheapest. We used to have Tarific, which was, I think, 27 or 25 there. We used to have so many types. So a customer could change. You want to switch from one tariff to another, right? But those are still expensive per minute. You can imagine. Unaongea na 20 bob per minute. That was the cheapest. So we are saying that now, when competitors came in, and so other lines like Airtel came in, we were having Celtel, not Airtel, we used to have Telecom. It was called Telecom Wireless. Safaricom had to reduce their prices. And that is why today you're using almost 2 bob per minute. We came from far. Yeah, we even had a Vodafone. So those are competitors. So we are saying that the presence of those competitors in the market and the substitute where we could buy line to another one, that now make the product become much cheaper. So you cannot determine the price, right? The same thing happened to Uber. When Uber came, it was very expensive. But then we came up with some others, like we were having now little cab, right? And then sahi tuko na. Haujawahi sikia hii? Are you serious, Florence? We started with cancel. We started with cancel, then Celtel. Florence, hiyo sasa wewe ni mdogo sana. It is the same Airtel that you're seeing here. We used to call it cancel, then Celtel, then Airtel. Hii Airtel unaona saa hii ilikuwa inaitwa cancel before. Zen, hata Zen tumekuwa nayo. Cancel is yes, that was the advert. Zen. So imetoka huko zote. Zen sasa ni hapa. I think imetoka Zen, then tukakuja Airtel. So Zen ndio unajua. Zen ni ya juzi. Zen ni ya juzi. Of course nimekula miaka na mimi sio peke yangu, tuko na Mary hapa. Do you know the first phone that came, they were not scratch card. You don't scratch. You buy, alafu unafungua hiyo karatasi. Ilikuwa inafungwa kama line, new line when you buy the new line ya phone. So unafungua hiyo karatasi alafu unapata hizo digits hapo ndani. Unaenda kwa hiyo simu. They were not the ones that you are scratching today. The first one. Sio easy. And there were 250 minimum. The very first one. That card you see. And the first one ilikuwa hii. You know, Safaricom came later. This one is the one that came early. But now they used to do what is called they buy the company. Walikuwa naingia kwa market ya Kenya. Now the problem is that this one, I think it is an Indian company. When they came, they could not resonate well with the Kenyans. So Safaricom resonate well because of the name, Safari. You know, when you talk about Safari, people feel like it's a Kenyan thing. But this one didn't work well. So Safaricom is, it was part of Vodacom. So it is a subsidiary that came and it renamed itself. So when it called itself Safaricom, we felt like this one is an African thing. We don't understand this, right? And then wazungu wakakuja wakaleta most of the Kenyan ndio walikuwa na operate. But Zen and Cancel, most of the time they were Indian. No? And they were not having good facilities. So this one came and overtook it. But the first one ilikuwa hii group. Hawa ndio walitangulia kwa market. Then this one came. And do you know that inaitwa Telcom has got the highest shares here. Telcom today as we speak, Telcom ya Kenya ndio ina own. So Safaricom is like a subsidiary of Telcom, but Telcom is still running separately but making losses while Safaricom is making profit. Na hii ni mtoto wake. So it depends on how you present yourself. But those are competitors. So the substitute, it was very easy. Somebody would have 2 lines at any given time, and both of them are working. Both of them are being used. Now, I want us now to look at the next one. That is a 4 corners analysis. Somebody by the name Michael Potters, who German atari, Michael Potters. After coming up with the five forces, he also came up with 4 corners. So it is called Michael Potter's 4 corners analysis. Bado ni yeye tu. Number 4, Michael Potters. The same person here, Potters. Four corners analysis. Michael Porter's four corners analysis. And Florence, do you know that the first phone came into Kenya around 2000? Sio kitambo sana. And I had my first phone in 2005. So when it came in 2000, we were being told that unajua kuna kitu watu wanaongea nayo, hata ukiwa Amerika unaweza ongea. Those days they were telling us that only MPs had it. Only MPs had it. Hata ukiwa Amerika unaweza ongea na familia yako. And we could not differentiate between the toy and the real phone. So one of my cousins used to come. Akitoka Homa Bay anakuja nyumbani Ushago amebeba toy. Mimi nafikiria hiyo ni simu. We could not even know the difference. Na naringa sana. And of course, you know what could happen. Four corners is also part of the business tool or tools of business analysis. And this was developed by Porters as well. And this four corners focuses on 4 areas, as we say. And I want to show you on the screen. So motivation, we have motivation. Where some things that are funny. That we could not differentiate between computer and TV during those days. So we have the 4 corners here. We have motivation. These are the 4 corners, and then action. So these things that motivates you to achieve your target. And then we have actions that you can take as a CEO. So as a CEO that is running a company, what motivates you? What pushes you to achieve what you want? For example, if you have a goal that I want to achieve this, then that becomes a motivator. But then which actions do you put in place? How are you going to act? So those are the things that they were saying that some companies vary from the others. And you need to understand what your competitors are also doing. So for example, what motivates people? Number 1 is financial goals. They have set their own financial goals and they want to achieve it. That is a motivator. They are drivers, all right? They are drivers. And then we have corporate culture. If you have a good corporate culture, you have an organizational structure that is properly done. We have leadership team backgrounds. That is the background of the team. The CEO, they have experience, they are exposed, the external constraints, and business philosophy. So those are drivers that motivates you. But you also have other motivation factors that are management assumptions. Like, for example, companies' perception of their strength. You know, if you believe that you are number 1, that is management assumption. You're just assuming. You know, even today, if somebody is saying that KCB is number 1, Equity is the best, what measurement have they used? That is just assumption. But the fact that you can be proud of it as management, it gives you motivation. Even employees are happy that we are number 1. Sometimes these people just go and pay these companies, they go and pay those pollsters. They come and give a report that the best companies customer service is this and this and this. And so employees will be so happy, the customers will also be happy, right? But that is just assumptions. The cultural traits, what you believe is your character, according to the cultures that you have, organizational value. Those are assumptions. Somebody saying that our value is integrity. Maybe another one is customer focus. Lakini ukienda ile service unapewa is very different from that. It's far from customer focus. But that is what they are saying, that is their value. So they're talking about customer focus, integrity, what, those are just assumptions. But those assumptions can actually motivate you. So they are motivating factors, which are assumptions. So it makes everybody comfortable. We have perceived industry forces. You are saying that in this industry, I don't think that there are so many people that can actually ruin us, or things that are happening in the industry, maybe they are towards your favor. Believe about competitors' goals. You just believe the competitors might not tell you the truth. So you believe that these people are going to have this kind of goal, but that could not be the truth because you don't know what your competitors are thinking about. So you want to take advantage of that. We have actions. So under actions, we are talking about the current strategy, So you know what motivates you. What do you want to do today so that you can be able to be the best or take advantage of the situation. Those are actions, and the first one is the ujanja yenye unataka kutumia. So one of the things that you should work on is how the business creates value. How do you create value so that you can be better than other people? Where the business is choosing to invest, that is a strategy. People are investing somewhere where they can make losses, but you want to action by investing somewhere where you can make money. A relationship with networks, the business has developed. You want to create good relationship. That is an action. And then we have capabilities. What are the advantages that you're having over other people? What are the capabilities that you have? It is not assumption. That is what you have. For example, you have a marketing skill. Do you have the marketing skill? That is an ability. Maybe your competitors don't have that. Ability to service channels, skills, and training to workforce. You train people, they have good skills, patents and copyrights. That is not assumptions. If you have a certain copyright, then you can be riding on it. You know, there are companies that get people because of the name. Hata sahi, some online colleges are not the very best. They are not the best, but because of the name, they can actually get customers that are just coming, flowing because of that name. So if you can be able to protect a copyright that has a good reputation, you have the patents on a name or a brand that is already known in the market, then that can give you a competitive advantage. Sometimes back, I used to think that easy petrol station belonged to one person. Kiwa ni total zote ni za mtu mmoja. Until I realized that people are just using other names because of that brand. Sahi kama unaweza fungua supermarket inaitwa Naivas mahali, people will always flow, alafu wanaacha wengine yenye iko neighbor. Like outside here there are so many supermarkets next to us, but Naivas is where people will always flow. Ukienda kwa hizi zingine hakuna watu. The prices are the same, the products are the same, they all take them from the factory. But now people go to Naivas and they don't go to these other supermarkets. Why? Because of the name. So you need to have the copyrights protect your name so that nobody can use it unless you have a special agreement. We have financial strength. Do you think that as a company, you are stable financially, or you have challenges paying teachers, you have challenges paying employees, you cannot pay rent? Do you think you have that problem? What are the qualities of your CEO? You remember when we're looking at the qualities of a leader, we say that one of them is autocratic leader. That is a leader that can actually make company go down. I think we are looking at signs of company failure. Under signs of company failure in FM, we say that you look at the management styles, right? And one of them was the autocratic leadership. You have a CEO that doesn't listen to anything, doesn't learn, and cannot be corrected. That could be a challenge. So those are the things that we are trying to look at. So the drivers will be looking at the competitors' goals to assist you understand what can actually work for you and such like things. So you compare what you have and what competitors are doing, and they are summarized there. So you'll be able to look at those ones later, but I've given you a summary of what you are able to understand from there. I want us now to look at the value chain analysis, and this is the most interesting part. And so in our previous class, there's a time I was asking, why would you go to Tomboya Street, right, or Moi Avenue and buy food? Moi Avenue, you are going to buy food, maybe chicken, kienyeji, of 500, right? Or let me just say 700 kienyeji, a nice one. But then you can also eat the same kienyeji along Kirinyaga Road. Kirinyaga Road is somewhere next to River Road. Ukitoka River Road, ukateremka Kirinyaga Road, alafu sana unaingia kwa vichaka huko. Mahali sasa utapata tu mafundi wenye wanafanya panel beating, wanatengeneza magari huko. Hapo chakula ni tamu and fresh, but you can get the same chicken at 250. So the question is, why would somebody sell the same chicken at that amount? And so the thing is, the value addition. When you come here, This is where when you get to this hotel, number one, at the door, nobody is there. People are busy. In fact, you can even go and sit down and leave without nobody noticing that you are there. This one. Lakini pia utapata ni kibanda ingine hivi na iko na moshi. Ukiingia hapo, ukitoka, the clothes that you put on are all smelling smoke. Ni kama ulikuwa unachoma huko na moshi. Hapo ukiingia, ukifanya order, unaitwa na jina ya hiyo order. Unasema, unauliza unataka nini? Unasema ugali mbuzi. So mtu mwenye anakusava anauliza mbuzi ni nani? Na unabeba mkono, wewe ndio mbuzi, kondoo ni yule, ng'ombe ni huyu, na githeri pia, right? Na kuku. So that kind of environment, there is no value addition, you see? And then we have a situation when you go there, for example, now you go to Moi Avenue, you'll find a situation where these people have very nice music. When you get in, you get somebody who is well dressed. Kama ni kijana is very handsome, or a lady very beautiful, very well groomed, na usher in. After coming in, they ask you what you want. Kwanza they give you a seat, and then they give you menu. So you'll make an order, and then they even trust you. Si ati unalipa kwanza. Unaingia hivi, wanaona vile unavaa, wanajua wewe ni mtu wa heshima zake. So utakaa, they give you the menu, you choose, and then on top of that they ask you what do you want to take as you wait for the order. The order will only take 10 minutes. Na una haraka, kama nakwambia 15, imagine you wait. During that time you take some drinks. Those drinks are also additional cost. They are not free. Unakwambia hii ni 500, hii ni 200, na pia ile ingine yenye unangojea, the main meal inakuja, right? Now this lady will come, serve you well, right? They even ask you how was the service. During that time, there's some soothing music at the background. Na sasa hiyo una watch ball, kama wewe ni mtu wa ball, unaona TV inafanya pale, very cool. Na ukimaliza kukula, unaweza kaa hapo, hata unaanza tu meeting, you can even be working on your laptop as you take your meal. Lakini pale River Road, mbio, wenye wamemaliza watoke, unaona ashakuja na panguza mesa hapo, wewe bado unakula, hata ataenda na hiyo supu kunayo kama hujakunywa. Ashakuja amepanguza na ametoa vitu, unabaki hapo ukinyelea, right? Na vumbi na kelele. That is the truth. Ask those who are always there. They know. But you'll find that this one, it is a very fresh meat or fresh kuku yenye imeletwa asubuhi na imechinjwa hata saa hiyo. Very fresh. But you look at the place where they are cooking it. It's so busy and dirty, you don't even want to see. Lakini ingine wanatengeneza ukiona. Kama ni chai wanapika hapo. Kama ni chakula, they cook it when you are sick. That is why you give the 10 minutes. Wanakutengenezea wewe peke yako. Now, you look at the environment. We have a very good environment. The vicinity, the people who are serving you, the way they handle you. These people need to be paid. They need to be paid. They need to be trained, right? So that's why you pay more. So you're not paying more for the food. You are paying more for the lady you met at the door, the person who is coming to take your order, the background music that you are hearing there. You are paying more for the TVs that you're seeing around, right? You are paying more for everything that is there. Now, what we're saying is that the value, people always pay for value. Do you know people pay for value? People don't pay for the product. Because today, and you can be given in a case study, when you are walking along the street, you'll find somebody selling clothes, ama hizi tissue paper, ama sabuni. Unakwambia sabuni ni mbao, ama sabuni so moja. Sabuni, the normal one, so moja. Right? Ikiwa full. But then, unapita huyu mtu na unaingia supermarket, unaenda kubuy the same one at 150 or even 200. Na zote zimeandikwa Menengai. People don't want to be sold. Sijui unafikiria sasa hiyo sabuni imetoka wapi, hiyo yake ya soup. Ruth, you know many Kenyans, including you always want to buy something but you don't want somebody to sell to you. Unataka wewe ndio unaenda unajichagulia, right? Why? Because we always associate things with bad quality. So we are paying for the quality, we are paying for the environment, we are paying for the service. We don't just pay for the product. So in business value analysis, you need to now add value on the product to make somebody buy it. And that is why somebody will leave something and come and buy, or leave somebody and come and buy from you. Somebody will leave another customer and come and, or supplier and buy from you. Now, I want us now to look at how this one was brought. And I say that this one is also something that was started by Michael Porter's. This one is still Michael Porter's value chain analysis, number 5. Michael Porter's value chain analysis. In exam, they will call it VCA. They might call it VCA. Now, how does this work? We are saying that value chain analysis, you can call it value chain analysis or VCA, and say that value chain analysis is a chain of activities that a firm operating. It is a chain of activities that a firm operating in a specific industry performs in order to deliver a valuable product. The things that you are going to do. Value chain analysis. Value chain analysis is a chain of activities that a firm operating in a specific industry performs in order to deliver a valuable product or service for the market. In order to deliver a valuable product or service to the market. In order to deliver a valuable product or service to the market. So we look at right from the way you are bringing the goods, the selection process, the suppliers, the way you bring the raw materials into the business, the way you process them, the way you service, mpaka the way you do after sales services. Unakuja unaniuliza how was it? That is after sales services. It is a process where a firm identifies its primary and supportive activities. It is a process. It is a process. Oh, so nimekuacha mahali. Okay, from definition, I say that value chain analysis is a chain of activities that a firm operating in a specific industry, the activities that a firm operating in a specific industry performs in order to deliver a valuable product or service. A valuable product or service for the market. And we are saying that it is also a process where a firm identifies its primary and support activities. Primary and support activities. And not just support the secondary. That is why we call them support staff. They are not the main staff. The main staff are primary staffs. So if somebody is supporting you, he is not the main person in that case. Yeye ni mtu wa pili, the second or secondary. So we are saying that the firm needs to identify what are the core activities and what are the supporting activities. Like for example, the core activity could be giving the food. But on top of the giving the food, you talk friendly to somebody. Giving that service or making somebody feel comfortable. That one is not the main. The main ni ile chakula. So the firm, we are saying that it's a process where the firm needs to identify its primary and support activities that add value, its final product. You need to identify the primary and support activities that will add value to the final product. To its final products. And then analyze final products and then analyze these activities to reduce cost or increase depreciation. And then analyze these activities. Then you analyze these activities to reduce cost or increase differentiation. To reduce cost or increase differentiation. To reduce cost or decrease or increase differentiation. I want to give you components of value chain. Components of value chain. Now, as a business person, before you start the business, you need to know who are the competitors, look at their value chain analysis, and try to improve yours a little bit in a way that is cost effective. I'm telling you, it will be better off components of value chain. So the first one, you'll have to draw something like this. And instead of drawing, I can just share the screen. Wewe mwenyewe ujione. Let me share the screen. I want to draw, these are the components of value chain. So we have this. These are the secondary or supporting activities. This one, this, and this, and this, the four. The primary are these ones. So hebu chora kitu kama hii kama utaweza. Are we done? You want me to zoom it? How now? Hii ni kidogo kuna haionekani bado kidogo. So this one is better. No, this one is excess. How do I zoom it now? Is it okay there? Hello. Are you seeing it now? So we are saying that as a business person, the most important things that you need to look at, the very most important thing is inbound logistic. Inbound logistic is under primary. They are part of the primary activities. Those are the main activities. It is how you are receiving the raw materials into your place, warehousing, inventory management, how you keep them. So for example, if it is food, who supplies you? Is it in an organized place, very clean, ama ni mama mboga tu mwingine mchafu, amebeba chakula kwa gunia na chakula yenyewe ni chafu? Kama ni nyama, inatoa maji na imebebwa kwa mgongo gunia, ama mzee mwingine hapo amechafuka na amevaa apron. We need to see. You'll find that these companies that I've given an example of, the big hotels, they are going to have somebody who is bringing the food on board. They bring with some clean car, very clean container. Chakula imebebwa, watu hizi jua ni chakula ikiletwa, right? So that is how you receive them. And of course, this is the first sight. People say that sometimes you can fall in love at the first sight. It means that it becomes impressive, or it is impressive when you see something good for the first time, how it came on board. We also have operations. How are you going to process the items that have been bought? Raw materials, right? Process involved into turning the raw material into finished products. And this is where I'm saying, when you go to the hotels in those areas where like River Road, you'll find them so dirty, a lot of vumbi, mtu ako busy, amechafuka na amasweat na anashika hizo chakula. Kama ni chapo anashika na mkono hivi na mkono yenyewe ni chafu. Unaona anapika lakini yeye hayuko well kept. That is process of operation. Anashika hizo chakula, maji yenyewe ni chafu. And that is why the prices are also cheap. Then we look at the outboards. Once these foods have been cooked, how are they being carried or delivered to you? Distribution. Unaona akileta, analeta akirusha, anakuita ng'ombe, you know, how are they being handled? Is it on a plastic plate yenye hata imeraruka? Yani analeta supu lakini inamwagika. You have seen such cases. Ugali wanakatakata na saa nyingine hapo ya plastic ni chafu. Iko na some stain, you don't even understand. So distribution include packaging, sorting, and shipping. How are they being delivered? Then we're talking about marketing. The next thing is how you make people understand. You go to hoteli zingine hizo, mtu amesimama kwa mlango anapiga, ana ring the bell, anakwambia it is lunch hour, karibu, right? So we are saying, how do you promote? Some of these big hotels, you'll not find somebody like that. Go to hoteli kama Zeneria, ama Herald. Go to Hilton. Hautapata mtu amesimama hapo nje ati anakuita karibu ndani na ana ring bell, it is lunch time, ana ring bell. No. They market on social media in a very organized way. In town hapa kwa streets wana ring bell kama ni lunch hour na unapita. Wanakuambia it is lunch hour. Have you guys seen that? I'm sure Ruth ushaona kitu kama hii. Huko wanasema aje ati ahero. Ahero ni nini sasa? Hiyo ni chakula rice. Ruth, ushaona watu kipita streets. They ring the bell, then they force you to come in for breakfast, lunch. Sindio? That is how they are marketing. Do you think that you want to get in because they are reminding you? No. You want to go somewhere which is cool. In fact, the only person maybe you want to see at the door is somebody who is ushering you in. It is you to decide whether to get in. In a bo, mtu kama anakuharakisha na kushika mkono atuingie kunywa chai ama ni lunch hour. How do you feel? So the promotion, advertisement, and pricing strategy, these are the marketing. How do you sell these products? You know, the first thing is branding, promotion. How do you brand them? You need to make it look nice, the environment. And then after sales services, after you've been served and you've eaten, do they even tell you more about the products, other products that they have and how they are being used or taken? For example, you buy TV, somebody can actually come from the supermarket or from the manufacturer to come and help you install it. That is after sales services. They need to train you how to use the TV or the gadget, whatever it is. They need to explain to you about the insurance that is covering and the guarantee or warranty period. They need also to talk about the repair in case of anything, how much will it cost you? Those are after sales services. The same with food. Somebody needs to come and tell you more about this food. They'll tell you that apart from this, we also have this other one. Hii ukikula inaweza kupea utasikia baridi, inafaa ukule hii before supper or after supper or before you have any meal, is just okay, haina issue. You know, somebody needs to explain to you. Sijui kama ushaenda kwa hizi restaurants, unaona list ya drinks na uelewi, unauliza ile umezoea, unaambiwa hiyo imeisha, alafu unaambiwa kuna ingine. Hiyo ingine hata ujui ni nini. They need to explain to you, this one is the same as vanilla milkshake. This one is not vanilla milkshake, but is also another option for milkshake. You need to take it like this. Sio kali, iko sweet, iko hivi. The implication is this, it is made up of sugar ama haina sugar. They need to tell you about these things, right? So it is not about selling. Need to educate people, and that is why we're talking about training people, educating them. Ndio next time akikuja anajua this product is good or this service is the best. Siku hizi kitambo we used to have we call them sealing. Zile vitu zinakaa kwa kichwa. Ukinyolewa unanyolewa na reza, alafu unaona hizi vitu zinakaa kama sealing kwa kichwa. But ziliisha. How comes? Because of the after sale services. You go to the barber shop. Don't even call them kinyozi nowadays. They are barber shop. You go there after you've been serviced. They put those chemicals, you don't even know them. But at the end of the day, you remain nice, looking nice, smooth with some very good outlook, right? So those are part of the things that we are looking at. So unapata mtu anapenda hiyo kinyozi na endi kwa mengine kwa sababu after that unafanyiwa massage, that is after sales services still, or additional value add. Unafanyiwa service massage, naona anatoa shirt, anashika mwili na unapenda hiyo. So unarudi, bei ni ile unalipa 500 instead of 30 Obama 50. Na hivyo ndio tunatoa pesa. So we don't give money because just kunyoa. Kila mtu anaweza nyoa hata shosho. Right? So let's proceed. I hope that you've drawn that and you have been able to understand the core. Now let's look at the secondary activities. Of course, the theories are there, you're going to read. The secondary activities includes, these are the additional things that you're looking at, not part of the main product that you're selling. Like now the infrastructure, we're talking about how did you plan the business? How did you finance the business? Are you having a situation where you want to cook meals, but you are having a shortage of raw materials, you are having a shortage of money? So the company overhead and management cost, including the financing and planning, they are not the main thing that you're selling, but they support the final product that you give so that we don't have stock out cost. You guys remember, those who did MA and QA, stock out cost. Yani umefika unaitisha kitu naambiwa hiyo imeisha. Kitisha hii imeisha. Imagine I'm assuring you, next time you want to go back to the same hotel, you will be asking yourself some 2 questions. Will I find what I want, or I'm just going to waste time there? Then the next thing is also human resource management. The people that are serving people need to be trained. That is not the main thing. The main thing is food, but you are training somebody. You need to look at the hiring process. Are you bringing people who are qualified? Hapa nje, we have some 2 hotels. One of the hotel has employed chef who is not qualified, lakini chakula yake kama ni nyama ni 150. Another hotel only has 1 chef. The other one has got 2 chefs who are not qualified. They are always busy. Chakula sio tamu, lakini anauza 150. And another one sells at 200. The same nyama, 200, na ugali kadogo. But the chef is professional, very organized na ni mtu mmoja. So what are we saying? Look at the people that you are hiring. Are you hiring people just as a by the way, or you are hiring people because you know they are going to give you value? The development, retention, how do you retain employees? How do you develop them, motivate them through compensation, pay them well? Most of these hotels like the one in River Road will be paying somebody 300 per day. Lakini unaenda pale unapata chef analipwa 50,000. That is how much per day, Florence? More than 1,000, right? Lakini River Road ni 300. Hajaenda shule. Ile mwingine ameenda shule. So there are differences. Though you might find that the food at River Road is even fresh, ni ya leo. Lakini ile ya CBD iko kwa fridge, ni chakula ya jana. Hiyo kuku hata ukikula haina taste. Haina ladha. Technology about the receipts. When you are now recording whatever you are going to, okay, you have given me the bill, right? Anaweza kuna zingine unaona anachukua exercise book ya single rule na anakuandikia bill hapo anatupa on your desk. But then we have organized companies that are going to give you ETR receipt na anaweka kwa hizo vitabu. Shaona hizo vitu Florence. Very nice pockets. Anakuja anaweka hapo ndani, akishaingiza hapo, anakuja anakuletea na kwambia, hata akwambia hiyo ni bill. Wewe unaona tu amekuja akaweka kitu hapo. Lakini ile nyingine inakuja na receipt ya exercise book na imeandikwa na kalamu na anatupa hapo ndani ya desk yako. So, which technologies are you using to keep your records? For financial reporting, you need to have everything captured. You need to have ETR receipts, right? So that this person can also go and claim, because you are dealing with people who are paying taxes. You are not doing with the Juakali people only. Kuja ukule hapo River Road. It is a very nice place. So that is what we talk about, the equipment, the services that you're offering people, how you record even your financials, how things are being recorded, how you are marketing them. That is technology. You are doing market research. That is technology. The product design, the quality of product. Then procurement process is about the raw materials. Where do you get them? Are you getting them from people who are reliable? They cannot fail you, right? The equipment that are used to carry them, to store them. Procurement process, right? And are they at a cheaper price? Ama wewe unachukua tu. So those are what they are all about. They are basically explained here. They are the same things that you have explained here. And so I feel like you should not be surprised. Now, I know I'm going to give you these notes so that you can write these ones as well. But before that, I want to look at some areas that were not covered here, which are more strategies. We are going to look at more. Anaandika bill in a book, alafu inafika 1K, ukimuuliza ni okay. Wanaandika kwa vitabu. So let's look at the next one. It's called Michael Porter's diamond. Michael Porter's diamond. That is number 6. Now, it is not part of the notes that I prepared there, but it's another strategy. Michael Porter's number 6. Michael Porter's diamond. So Michael Porter's diamond is also another strategy that they come up with to be able to look at the conditions of the market and become strategically placed. So we are saying that it suggests that countries can create advantage for themselves. Countries can create advantage for themselves, such as strong technology. You can use technology in your business. We are talking about now international competition. You need to have skilled labor, such like things. This one, the model describes the competition advantage that a nation has or group possess based on factors available to them. So you can write that. The model describes the competitive advantage that nations or groups or people have. Nations or group has or possess based on factors available. So as a business person, you need to look at yourself. What am I having? Even Moses, Mungu alimuuliza, what do you have? So hata wewe unauliza, what do I have? So how can you take advantage of the current resources that you have to become competitive in the market? So this theory explains how government can act or business can act to improve a country's position in a global competitive economic environment. But what I know that you have written is that the model describes the competitive advantage that a nation or group has or possess based on the factors that are available. So this one is quite in a larger scale, is looking at the whole country. I wanted to proceed and say that I wanted to say in another paragraph that the Porter's diamond model is visually represented by a diagram. Porter's diamond model, I can share with you so that you see what we are saying. Porter's diamond model. Porter's diamond model is visually represented by a diagram that resembles the points of a diamond. The points of a diamond. Diamond iko na 4 corners ama 5. Iko na 4. Yeah? That resembles the points of a diamond and includes the interrelated activity determinants that Porter theorizes as the deciding factor of national competitive economic advantage. So we have them. The first one is called related. We have farm strategy, structure, and rivalry. Farm strategy, structure, and rivalry. And now I need to expand for you. So these are the factors that determine the competitive advantage of a country or a business. The farm strategy, structure, and rivalry. Number 2, related supporting industries. You know, if you are in the industry of manufacturing, for example, you are in the industry of manufacturing, let's say motor vehicle, do you have, or assembling, you're in the industry of assembling motor vehicle or motor vehicle assembling industry. Do you have supporting industries that are going to manufacture the engine? They're going to prepare the body. They're going to prepare the tire, the wheels. You need to have those supporting industries behind you so that you can be successful. Now, a country cannot be able to do well if they are not having industries with the supporting elements with them. Then the demand conditions. How are people demanding your product? Do you have the market? Which preference do the market have? Then factors, conditions. Those are the 4 that makes it a diamond. Because when we talk about diamond, we are talking about something that looks like this. Not a vehicle. This is a diamond. It is called Porter's diamond model. So we have factor conditions. We have farm strategy and structures, rivalry. We have demand conditions and related supporting industry. So this is why we call it diamond, because of the shape. However, they are well illustrated here. So I want to write this. This is a summary of all that. I'm giving you 2 minutes or 5 or 3 should be enough. 2 or 3 minutes should be enough to explain the factors that are considered to be important. The factors that are considered to be important. Farm strategy. So under farm strategy, you'll be looking at how companies behave. Common strategy used, how companies organize themselves, how companies compete in the industry. Then you have related supporting industry, name of the companies that are there to support you, specialized businesses, number of suppliers, similar businesses, right? And then now we have demand conditions, we have domestic market behavior, we have market preference, what class, value, strength, and like things. Factor conditions, we have national resources, we have specialized workers, we have national stability, and such like things. So this one is now business between nations, and you're now looking at a bigger scale, Otters Diamond model. Ukifika kwa mtihani uone hiyo kitu, watu watashangaa, kwani hii naye ilitoka wapi? Examiner analeta vitu hatujaisikia. We still have one more model and then we can finish today's class. So andika hiyo haraka haraka. These are the factors that you need to consider to become competitive. Can we proceed? Hi, are we set? Hamjamaliza? Tuendelee. Done. Yeah. Sawa. So these are just explanation of what they all means, which I've explained. I want us now to look at the last part. I told you we have one more to go. It is called BCG, Boston Consulting Group Matrix Group. BCG, Boston. That is number 7, BCG matrix. Boston Consulting Group matrix is called BCG. So BCG is another strategy that was started by somebody, a group of people. Looks like this. But before I share, I want to say that it is a business planning tool. BCG is a business planning tool. BCG is a business planning tool. Business planning tool used to evaluate strategic position of a firm's brand. It is a business planning tool. It is a business planning tool used to evaluate. It is a business planning tool used to evaluate. Business planning tool used to evaluate. Business planning tool used to evaluate the strategic position of a firm's brand. Strategic position of a firm's brand. Strategic position of a firm's brand. Of a firm's brand portfolio. Of a firm's brand portfolio. Of a firm's brand portfolio. I want to draw this thing like this one. Baya sasa nawafunza vitu muhimu lakini watu hawako. That's my problem. You guys are learning very important things, but people are not there. So these have here market growth, market share. Najua ukiwa kwa biashara lazima uangalie niko wapi and where are my competitors. Are you a business that is still starting and it is promising? So we have that. So this one means, for example, when you have the stars here, the star means that there is a high growth for this business and high market share. Yani ina grow haraka lakini pia watu wanaikubali, inashika market. Like Progas. Progas, at some point when it came, it was having star shining, right? It was growing very fast and people are enjoying because of the brand. You look at that brand, it looks beautiful, it looks romantic, ndio? Yes. Lakini kuna gaza zingine hata unaangalia mtungi unashangaa, hautaki kununua hiyo mtungi. While mtungi ni mtungi, gas ni gas, lakini urembo wa mtungi matters, ndio? So watu wameenda wakabuy Progas. So that is what we are saying here. A company that is still promising with a high growth rate, high market share. This one here, question mark, is where there is a growth, but the market is not increasing. So you are asking yourself, why? Why am I not getting people? The company is growing, expanding, but uko na wachache sana customers. You are not increasing the market share. Low market share, high growth. And then we have here, where we have market share iko sawa, yani imeshika kila mahali, but the company is stagnant, it's not growing now. That is where Safaricom is. It's called cash cow. Yani kazi yako sasa ni kukamua tu. Ukifika mahali watu wamekubali in the market, but you are not expanding, it means that your role is now just to kukamua, right? And then we have dog. Dog, mtu akikuita dog hautumii akili ama uko na shida. So dog is a company that there is no growth, there is no market share. Yani iko tu hapo. What do you think will be the strategy? What advice can you give the person who is running a company that is in a dog position or dog stage? A company that is just there. Ama kondoo. What advice can you give, Ruth? A company that is there, it is not growing. Yeah? It is not increasing in size, but also it is not increasing in terms of acceptability in the market. Market share is also low. Imebaki tu ikiwa kadogo hivyo. What advice can you give that company? I hope mnachora because time imefika. The next 10 minutes we should be done. So I want to say that start with the question mark. Say that here the products with a high market growth but a low market share. High market growth, low market share. You are growing in the market, but people are not accepting. You are not catching people. Yeah. Expand, lakini people are not coming. You are not taking over the market. We have star products with a high market growth and a high market share. And then we have products with low market growth and a low market share. That is dog, low market growth and low market share. The last one is called cow, product with low market but high market share. Low market growth, high market share. So are we done with this? Taka tumalize, tuangalie strategies and then we are good. Aha, tuko wapi? Tumemaliza? So I want you to look at the strategy. This is the last part. The star, this is where the earning is high, stable, growing. Cash flow is also neutral. The strategy is to invest for growth. Andika strategy, invest for growth. You can take screenshot hii area and then you can write the strategy later. What is important here is the strategy because you know what is happening in each. The strategy here is now to enjoy your money, milk. The strategy here is to divest. Stop investing because it is a dog. You're not going to get anything. Strategy here is to analyze, determine whether the business can be growth into a future. If the business can grow, it has potential, then you can pump more money or it will degenerate into a dog. If it is going to be stagnant, then you now stop it. So take the screenshot here and then we stop the class. That is the end of today's class. Are we done? We can close. Okay, so that should be the end of today's class. Thank you so much for coming. The rest are basically explanation of the same, which have been summarized there, here. That is what has been explained there. So thank you so much. I want us now to end the meeting and start FM. So take a break 5 minutes and then we start FM. We shall start at 8:15.